The call of the Hogs can be heard all the way to San Francisco.
You're listening to Pod at the Palace with Curtis Wilkerson on Inside Arkansas.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday, and welcome back to the Pod at the Palace. I'm your host, Curtis Wilkerson with Inside Arkansas. Folks, we are one sleep away from the return of Razorback basketball. That's it. One sleep is all that separates us from seeing the Razorbacks take on Cincinnati at Bud Walton Arena. Man, it's we're finally here after all that. And by that, I mean, the heartbreak in San Francisco when you thought you were on the cusp of an Elite Eight and keeping that magical run going and trying to process what happened there, to all the madness of portal season, who we thought they were going to get, who they didn't get, who they did wind up with. Why didn't they get this guy? What's going on? Do they need more? Every single day with that. It was crazy, list season that we've been going through, all the projections, the simulations, preseason rankings, KenPom, all these things. And we finally made it to the point of just watching this team play somebody else. And that's what it's all about, right? Which means in this case, it's Cincinnati. And I can't wait for it. I'm really looking forward to seeing the Razorbacks and the Bearcats get after it Friday night. And you know what that means? It means tap in for the Pod at the Palace post-game live reaction show. Those tend to get off the rails in a hurry when it's me and Andrew. Fun stuff. We have a good time. Make sure you check that out. We'll also be bringing back the post-game report cards and the player grades for the following morning and seeing how we feel about the Razorback performance from the night before. It's a good time. We're going to have a full preview out bright and early tomorrow for this game, but we've got a lot of fun to get into today. We've got a major visit that is now officially official by way of being confirmed, and some wild season props that we're going to have a little bit of fun with. We're going to have a reaction to Darius Acuff's interview with local media earlier on Wednesday, and much, much more to come. Hey, today's episode of the Pod at the Palace is brought to you by our friends over at Drain Masters of Arkansas. Drain Masters are officially licensed in plumbing and drain cleaning while serving the River Valley, Northwest Arkansas, Oklahoma, and beyond. They're ready to handle all plumbing and drain cleaning needs with professional, reliable service. To request a service, give them a call today at 479-646-5585 or scan the QR code there on your screen. You can also like their Facebook page at Drain Masters, Inc. Be sure to tell them that Inside Arkansas sent you and get 10% off all your services, anything and everything plumbing related. No job too big, no job too small. Drain Masters of Arkansas has you covered. So I have a feeling, this is my paternal instinct, my fatherly instinct is telling me that my son's first word is going to be Baba. Baba, Baba. And no, it's not going to be because he's begging for milk. It's going to be because he is cheering on future Razorback great Baba Oladotun. That's what I'm thinking. That's where I'm at with it, because that visit that we've talked about, we have learned, is still officially on as scheduled for this weekend. Huge. This is a big one, guys, for Cal and the Razorbacks here that we need to watch closely, because Arkansas is in deep with Baba. And if you have been living under a rock, or you haven't been watching the Pod at the Palace or whatever, he's good. Okay. Baba Oladotun, he was the number 1 overall prospect in the 2027 class, reclassified up into 2026, and he is still a top 10 5-star. I think most services have him ranked about 8th, and he hasn't even played a game yet this season. So chances are he'll continue to go up. Now, if we're talking about NBA upside, the highest ceiling, he's got to be top 5, top 3 in the class. He's the real deal. Only 16 years old, but he projects as a no-brainer, one and done. He really kind of fits this year's Nate Ament profile. And there's a lot of buzz about him, don't you think? But talking about a young man who he played up with Team Durant on the 17U on the EYBL, put up numbers, averaged 13.8 points per game, 6 rebounds per game throughout the course of the regular season on the EYBL, shot over 30% from 3. It's interesting. He shot 60% from the field throughout all of that. And like I said, he was well over 30% from 3. He went cold that final week of Peach Jam. And I think he went 3 of 18 that week from 3, and it kind of drug him down. But don't worry, Baba can shoot that thing, and I'm going to prove it to you here in a couple minutes. But he's kind of a unicorn, folks, and you're going to see comparisons thrown out to him to Kevin Durant and different players of that ilk. And sometimes when you hear that, you go, okay, like, let's not get carried away here, right? And yeah, maybe so, because he's a generational type of player. But again, we are talking about an elite 5-star talent who projects as a no doubt one and done, who was a number one in his class before he reclassed up. Oh, and by the way, he is a guard who has grown to 6'10" tall, and he's added over 25 pounds to his frame over the course of the last year, I'm told. So he's going to continue to fill out plenty more before arriving on campus, but his size, right, overall has been a question mark for him. Like, okay, this dude needs to put on weight and get stronger, and then the sky's the limit. And he's been doing a lot of that here over the course of the last several months, and it's only going to continue. So he's a scary prospect, man. And I call him a unicorn because you just don't find too many guys like him. You're going to find really talented players every year. And Cal's going to get his 5-star guards, the Calipari guards, all the time, right? And we're excited about guys like Euan and all that. But when you have a guy who has this combination of height and length and athleticism and skill set, it's just rare. So we'll see what winds up happening here. Now, other schools involved include Maryland. You guys have heard me talk about that quite a bit. I understand it's kind of like the hometown type of school there. I just have a hard time believing Buzz Williams is going to be able to get that one done. His dad's alma mater is one to keep an eye on, Virginia Tech. Georgetown, he has visited. Kentucky, he has visited. Listen, I would put Arkansas's chances to land Baba Oladotun probably up there with where I think they're at with Arifan and Brandon McCoy, just kind of at the top of the board for Arkansas. I get the sense that if he is going to leave his comfort zone, around home there, Fayetteville might be the move for him. And we'll see how we feel about that after this weekend, but I can't imagine it going poorly. Can you? Should be in town for the Cincinnati exhibition. So again, it's like we talked about yesterday. This is going to be a game that doesn't count, and it's going to be loud. It's going to be rowdy right there inside of Bud Walton Arena. An SEC football weekend, on Saturday. So he'll get to see the campus atmosphere. And, hey, the students have been showing up and showing out. That's great. The atmosphere for the Texas A&M game, you had 2-hour delay for weather, and it was electric in there. And I know this is going to be an earlier kickoff, and I understand everything that they've got going on, but man, you got a nice crowd in there, and it's getting loud and rowdy coming off a night before where he saw him in Bud Walton Arena. There's a lot of opportunity here for him to be impressed, right? And we know they're going to literally roll out the red carpet. That's what they do for these guys. So this is a big one for Arkansas. And what I want to do is play a clip for you guys of Baba Oladotun, just so you can get a little bit more familiarized with his game. Because I think sometimes, people hear, okay, 6'10", skinny, so he must be like a stretch 4 or whatever. No, he is not. He is a guard. And I called him a wing before, but what you're going to see here is the dude is on ball a lot. So I'm calling him a 6'10" guard. My point is he's not a big man, but this dude is he's built a little bit different. You're going to see that. This is a clip from August at the Dame Lillard Elite Camp where he rattled off 22 straight points, including 6 3-pointers without a single miss. Let's pull it up and take a look at it here. So, boom, here we go. Steps into the little mid-range there. That's a big part of his game. He'll be able to create a little bit of separation, but you don't have to create a ton of separation in your pull-up game when you're 6'10" with a plus 7-foot wingspan. And you can just pull up and elevate right over the top of folks. Here comes the 3 ball. Splash, looks good. Look at this off the dribble. Oh, got him on skates, step back, right into it. Now does that look like the typical 6'10" guy to you? No, he's handling that thing like a point guard. He's got the ball on a string, man. It's ridiculous. Another catch and shoot 3. He catches it high, quick release, gets it off. It's fluid. It's repeatable. So yeah, he can shoot it. Here he is in pick and pop, and he drops a kid and then crosses it over, steps back, hits another 3. Ridiculous. Again, with the sidestep. Here he is in transition, give, and you shall receive, and finishes it with a dunk there. Spin back. I mean, come on, man. How do you guard that? How do you guard that? I'll tell you how you guard it. You don't. So what do you guys think about that? Does that work for y'all? It works for me. The dude needs to be in a Razorback uniform. Big visit this weekend. Baba Oladotun. We will obviously keep you posted in the aftermath with the feedback that we get. Today's episode of the Pod Palace is presented by our friends at Walter Christmas Lighting of Arkansas. Hey, if you're in Northwest Arkansas or the River Valley and you're not set up for your Halloween or Christmas lighting yet, do that, especially Halloween. I mean, we're roughly a week away here. You still got time, but you got to act quick and you got to do it to take advantage of this deal, because if you sign up for Halloween lights, you're going to get your Christmas lights for 50% off. If you're in Northwest Arkansas or the River Valley, they are your go-to and they make it easy on you. All materials provided. They do the installation, the maintenance. They come down and do the takedowns for you in January. Text our guy Brett for a free estimate, 479-459-1380. You can also check out their website at walterchristmaslighting.com or like them on Facebook by scanning the QR code right there on your screen. All righty. Where do we want to go next here? We'll save the Steven special stuff for the end. Let's talk about today's interview or Wednesday's interviews. We heard from Darius Acuff ahead of Friday's exhibition against Cincinnati. Cool. It's awesome, man. The first time we've heard from him. And at this point, we've nearly made the rounds to all the rotation guys. Just a couple more to go. I don't recall. No, let's see. We've had Leak. We haven't had Sealy yet. We'll see about that. Billy, we get on Thursday, late in the afternoon. We'll have that posted. And who else? I've had just about everybody else. I know they've had Euan at this point. Have we talked to Carter yet? Maybe not. I don't know. At any rate, that's what you got coming on down the pipes here. But good to hear from Darius Acuff. It was funny, as you'll see, he was repping the Reebok shirt there. And hey, it is what it is. But if you guys recall, when he was at the Iverson Classic, and he was named the Allen Iverson High School Player of the Year, and he won the King of the Court and the MVP and all that. And he inked that endorsement deal with Reebok while he was there. So he's got the Reebok on the shirt. Like, I see you, young man, representing a little bit. That's good stuff there. But at any rate, listen, I'm not going to just share too much of the Cincinnati talk from him. I got to be honest with you. He said, hey, yeah, we watched the film from their exhibition against Michigan, but you could tell they haven't gotten too deep and into a scouting report on the Bearcats just yet. And honestly, the truth is they probably won't, and maybe they shouldn't. You know what I mean? This is your first exhibition game, man. This is the first time you're playing someone else. To me, it's far more important to focus on yourselves as opposed to worrying about who you're playing right now. And I know the way Muss did it and the way that we used to do it, if we've got a couple exhibitions, the first one's all us. Here are all the things we want to work on. We're focused on ourselves, and we'll see how others defend it, and we'll learn from it, and we'll take it from there. The second one, we introduce the scouting report and stuff. That way your first real game is not the first time that they've experienced it. Maybe that's what Arkansas does here, where they get a little bit more in depth on Memphis and everything. But yeah, like they're gonna talk a little personnel, and I'm sure they'll watch some film. But as far as the super deep dive, and we've got our scout team out here running all their actions and all that, probably not going to be a whole lot of time spent on it. They'll do some of it, but it's not going to be like it will be for a typical game. Now, that being said, like we will do matchups and keys and what to watch and all that kind of stuff tomorrow. But as for Acuff and what he had to say today, he just talked about, playing hard and as a team and, coming out of on your home floor ready to rock, since Cincinnati's already gone on the road and popped somebody. Sure. I will let you know that, we do get Billy on Thursday after practice. So maybe we'll get a little bit more out of that. I think that one's actually designed to preview Memphis because he's a Memphis guy, but we'll see. But a couple things I found most notable. Acuff was asked multiple questions about playing with DJ Wagner and how things are coming along with those two. And that's everyone's question after, DJ and Boogie, they kind of had the slow start last year. Was that because of a chemistry issue between the two of them, or was it just a, compilation of everything that was going on with the injuries elsewhere and the short roster and all the newness and all that? I guess we'll never know, but people are wondering the same thing about Acuff and DJ. So fair enough. And we know that Cal had been having them go against each other a ton in practice for the competitive spirit part of it. And only recently has he had them playing together. But what I did is Acuff was asked two questions about it, and I've combined the answers to the two here, and I'll play this clip for you, and then we'll talk about it.
It's great. I feel like, I can play with everybody, on the team. Everybody play with different people. Everybody's kind of easy to play with. I feel like we are getting used to each other now. But it's good to play with them. Just another point guard, another great scorer, great guy, great teammate, and I feel like that's everybody on this team. And we all get used to playing with each other, so it's definitely getting to that point where it's kind of easy to play with certain people. We always on different teams, so we play against each other every day. We're competing against each other. Feel like we both just tough-minded guards. We making each other better, not just coming out here, just not playing. We make each other better. Feel like just learning from him is great. He's been with Cal for 3 years, I think. So I feel like learning from him is great. He knows everything about the system, everything about the college game. Just learning from him is great.
I think that's about the exact answer that you would look for given the circumstances, right? Like, yeah, we're getting used to playing together. I'm the type of guy that can play with anybody, and it's so great. That's what you want to hear. And yeah, I agree with the things that he's saying there about DJ and him being in the system. It's his 3rd year with Cal. It's his 3rd year in the SEC, and soaking up some of that information like a sponge. That's good. People sometimes think like, okay, if you have 2 point guards, do you have one? No, Arkansas really does have 2 out there. And what I'm going to be really interested in, just like everybody else, I think, is who winds up on ball the most. And in the settings that we've seen so far, a little bit at Pro Day, and then for that one 20-minute segment in Hot Springs, for the most part, it's been Darius Acuff on the ball and DJ sliding down. The good thing is DJ's looked very comfortable in that role, and maybe that's because he's improved his shooting, right? But one thing that Cal said, and I can't remember, maybe it was after the deal at Hot Springs when he was asked about those guys, he said, hey, the thing is when Acuff is really on a heater from a scoring standpoint, and he's going to get on some of those, that they want to be able to move him off the ball. They want to be able to move him off of it and let him focus on more of that role, because you still want to be able to initiate everything. But if he's on a heater, you don't want him coming down, calling for a ball screen, navigating that, taking the shot, and you have a bunch of no pass possessions. Boogie was really bad about that. That was one of my biggest pet peeves of his, because he was so good. His assist to turnover ratio was great and all that, but far too many times he would dribble it up the floor. He'd dribble around for 18 seconds and you wouldn't have a single pass, and then a shot goes up. And I think Cal's aware of that. And that's something that happens with young freshmen as they're learning the game. So yeah, if he really gets going, well, yeah, we're going to continue to go to you, but let us have someone get it to you and get the defense in some rotations and then get you to your spot and then let you go to work. So I think that's some good stuff right there. The other thing, and this is funny because I thought 3 times you could tell, Acuff, he's serious business, right? And y'all see the Reebok, by the way, but he's a serious cat. There were 3 times that we were able to get him to smile, right? Really get him to smile and show a little bit of happiness, some emotion out there. One was, he's talking about Isaiah Sealy a little bit. He's like, oh no, man, he's great and everything. So that all sounded good. Right. And, I think everyone that we ask about Isaiah Sealy, they say, no, he's better than we thought. And man, he can just do some things that you don't really see. Well, he's athletic and he can knock down shots. That's great. But the 2 that really stood out to me, one, he was telling us about going out and getting those hot lemon pepper wings and catfish at Chicken Heads. Supreme order right there, young fella, supreme order. And if he had a big old smile, he's like, no, it's the hot lemon pepper. If it's an off day, I'll get the catfish too. But yeah, you can't do that right before practice, man. You're going to be dragging ass out there. But that was pretty funny. But then this one, and I'm going to play the clip for you, when he was talking about Malik Euan. And what you'll see, even with DJ, for the most part, he was asked about a lot of the guys on the team and what's it like playing with this guy? And what have you learned from this guy? Whatever. And it's just, love playing with them. Great teammates, super talented, learning from those guys. Yeah, we're clicking all kind of stock answers, right? And that's okay. That's part of it. But when he got asked about Malik Euan, he is gushing with a smile and really had a lot to say about him. So I want to play this quote that he gave on Malik Euan, and I think it's going to get some of you guys even more excited about what's to come from Arkansas's front court.
We work out together a lot. He reals like I never seen somebody his size like dribble. Like he kind of dribble like me. So I never seen that before. Just seeing him in the gym every day, progressing his game. He's great. I can't even explain it. I don't know. Like the passes he throws crazy. Stuff he tries, like I would never even think about trying. I don't know. He does a lot of stuff that's crazy. It's gonna amaze you for sure. I feel like a lot of fans gonna be able to see that. They're gonna be like, whoa, every time.
I I would love to be like, whoa, every time Malik Euan touches the ball. He is very gifted, man. And Acuff's right. The things that he does at 6'10", 240 pounds that you don't even see guards doing. And you got to have a lot of confidence in yourself, first of all, to do some of those things. He was talking a little bit later, and I should have pulled that clip, but I didn't, about, him getting a rebound. Naturally, as the point guard, you're like, okay, I get the outlet and I'm going to bring the ball up the floor. Well, then Malik Euan just starts dribbling up the floor himself. And so Acuff is like, all right, well, I guess I'm just going to run to the corner then, since we got the point forward here. And then he dribbles it down. He throws a behind the back pass and dimes somebody. And it's like, oh, okay, so he can do that. But that's the part of Malik Euan that I'm really excited for people to see in action. Is man, he's a gifted player, talented player, very skilled, instinctual offensively. Sometimes he looks casual out there, but I think it's because he just doesn't get sped up, and he's got a plan when he gets the rock. So people are going to be excited to see that, no doubt about it. But yeah, it's always good when if you ask your point guard about your center and he gets a big smile on his face when he starts to talk about him, usually I would say that's a pretty good sign, wouldn't you? Hey, today's episode is brought to you also by our friends over at Saracen. It's Arkansas's #1 sports betting app. Download on your iPhone or your Android today, and or you can go to betsaracen.com, by the way, and start winning big. New users need to take advantage of the no strings attached deal. Hop on there, use code INSIDEAR, and it's going to unlock that no strings attached promo, where if you bet $25 real cash wager, then you are going to get 5 $25 bets sent to you. That's pretty good stuff. And I will say this is a fitting sponsor for the final segment of the show here today, because we have Razorback season team specials up and available over at Bet Saracen now. And listen, I know that not everybody is the betting type. Okay. So if some of you see this and you're like, oh man, whatever, like I'll catch you tomorrow, Kurt. No, stay on, because we're going to have fun with this. You don't have to be the betting type to do this. These are very, very interesting, and I want to roll through them. Let's decide what's feasible or what's too far-fetched for the Razorbacks. Why not, right? So, okay, let me pull this up. That way you guys can see it, and then let's run through these here. So the first one we have, Arkansas at minus odds, by the way, minus 135. Arkansas Razorbacks to beat Duke or Houston in the regular season. So the odds are in Arkansas's favor, apparently, to get one of these done. How do we feel about that? Did everybody watch Duke last night against UCF? They struggled in the first half. They got it going in the second. They had a couple guys who were out. Dame Sarr didn't play, the freshman wing of theirs. Malik Brown, maybe their defensive anchor on the interior, didn't play. Cam Boozer went for 33 and 12. They're going to be really good. Probably have some things to work out early, so maybe you catch them early, and that'll be good for Arkansas. I think that's going to be one hell of a matchup. Houston, they're going to be tough. They're going to be physical. They're probably were they ranked preseason #1, or was it Purdue? I can't remember which one of them it was, but they're up there in that conversation. Another contender. They've got some guys back, and JoJo Tugler and Milos Euan, Emmanuel Sharp, but they are relying more than they ever have on freshmen. Talented freshmen, don't get me wrong, but you wonder how that impacted things when they got beat by 14 by Ole Miss in an exhibition where word has it that both teams were at full strength. So what does that look like? Well, they have it figured out by the time they see Arkansas. Will Arkansas be ready for that type of physicality and defensive intensity? Those are both going to be awesome games to watch. And yeah, man, I would love to say, yeah, Arkansas is going to win both of them. Screw it. But I like that Arkansas has some minus odds there to go ahead and get at least one of them. The next one, this is funny, minus 110. Arkansas Razorbacks to record 2 wins against LSU in the regular season. Sweep LSU, who was picked 15th out of 16 in the conference. You didn't do this last year because you choked a lead and lost to them on the road. One of the most frustrating post-game shows I've ever done. I think that's what sent Arkansas to 0-4 in SEC play, because up to that point, it was like Tennessee, Ole Miss, and Florida that you had lost to, and it's like, well, that sucks, but at least all 3 of those teams are really good. You'll go have your get-right game against LSU. They didn't. So, yeah, Arkansas should go win both of those games. Wins are precious in the SEC. Nothing's easy. But when you're playing the teams, one of the few teams that are not projected to be NCAA tournament caliber, you got to go get it done. Next one, at minus 120. Arkansas Razorbacks to record 5+ home wins against SEC teams in the regular season. They better do that, right? I mean, they better do that. What was Arkansas's record? I'm pulling it up real quick, but I want to see what Arkansas's record was in SEC play at home last year, because they didn't get off to a good start, because you lost to Ole Miss, you lost to Florida, you beat Georgia, you lost to Oklahoma, you lost to Alabama. Good grief. Then you beat LSU, and you beat Missouri, you beat Texas, and you beat Mississippi State. So they figured it out by the end, but they struggled some at Bud Walton Arena. It's time to restore order in that building where teams are not supposed to beat you. Here, Arkansas's home. You think they're going to get 5 of these? The home games in SEC play. Tennessee, you open up with South Carolina, Vanderbilt, LSU, Kentucky, Auburn, Missouri, Texas A&M, Texas. I just got to be honest with you. If they don't get 5 of those, it's going to be a very disappointing season. I'm just telling you the truth, man. Plus money here now. Plus 155. Arkansas Razorbacks to beat Georgia and Texas in the regular season. So you get Texas at home, and I think you're on the road at Georgia. Yes, you are. You should win both of those games. Texas at home, yes. And again, like, it's really hard to go win on the road. Georgia picked 14th in the SEC. Come on, man. Like, I'm already seeing some that I'm gonna put some coin on, you know. Plus 150, Arkansas Razorbacks to record 2 wins against Auburn in the regular season. This is interesting. If you guys remember our predictions earlier, I picked Arkansas actually to get swept by Auburn. Now, my mind has changed since Bruce Pearl retired right before the season started. I think that matters. I really do. I've got Arkansas splitting. I got them losing at home losing on the road and winning at home. You play at Auburn Saturday, January 10th. That's right after a road trip to Ole Miss, so that's kind of tough. And you got to listen. Saturday night, Bud Walton Arena against Auburn, February 14th. That's one you got to get. Can they get them both? We'll see. That'd be huge if they did. Arkansas Razorbacks to win 5+ games in a row in the regular season. So when I see that, I automatically go to the non-con. So, for example, this is interesting. So you have a 4-game swing: Central Arkansas, Samford, Winthrop, and Jackson State. Well, they better win all 4 of those, and they're all at home, right? But you got to get one more. So the game at the start of that is at Michigan State, and the game at the end of that run is versus Duke. So basically it's saying, are you going to win one of those 2 and then not have a slip up in these bye games? Looking at the rest of them, yeah, it's tough. There's not another great stretch there. I'm not saying Arkansas couldn't win 5 SEC games in a row, right? But you automatically look for the easiest stretch there, because the rest of non-conference after that, it's tricky, because after Duke, you got Louisville, and then you get Fresno State, but then you have Texas Tech. And then you get Queens, but then you get Houston. And then you get James Madison, but then you get Tennessee. So that is an interesting one for sure. Arkansas Razorbacks to beat Tennessee and Michigan State in the regular season, plus 275. Your return on these are starting to get higher and higher, because these are more and more difficult to do. Boy, getting Tennessee and Michigan State, guess what? I projected that to happen. That's really tough. Road game against Michigan State in particular. Tennessee at home in your SEC opener. I don't know. What do you guys think? Plus 325, Arkansas Razorbacks to beat Texas A&M, check. Texas Tech, revenge game, and Louisville at home in the regular season. You should get A&M, and frankly, you should beat Louisville, even though they're really, really good. That's going to be a crazy charged up atmosphere in Bud Walton Arena. Like, of all these non-conference games that you have that are really tough, if you need to pick one that you should win, it should be that one, in my opinion. And then the Texas Tech game in Dallas, that would be a hell of a, I mean, that would be 2 quad 1 wins. I don't know what the Texas A&M situation is going to look like. I think they're going to be a little bit better than expected, but I don't know how much. Arkansas Razorbacks, so we just talked about this, to record 7+ home wins against SEC teams in the regular season at plus 300. So you go 7-2 in league play at home. I think you should do better than that. I don't think you should lose at home, but I gave Arkansas 1 L over there, but 7-2 at plus 300, that entices me. The one that's 5+ should be free money. If they're not doing better than that, then at the end of the year, we're having conversations about why this team underachieved, in my opinion. Now it gets a little bit crazy. We'll run through them pretty quickly here. Plus 1,100, Arkansas Razorbacks to win all neutral location games during the regular season. That's 4 games. So that's in Chicago against Duke, right? That's in Dallas against Texas Tech. That's in, who am I missing here? Hold up. Your 4 neutral site games in non-conference. Let me make sure I'm reading that right. Yeah, during the regular season. So you've got Michigan State's a true road game, Duke in Chicago, Texas Tech in Dallas, Houston in Newark. So are they talking about the Little Rock game? Because Louisville's at home. Interesting. I want to know what that other one is. Michigan State's on the road. Louisville's at home. You got the 3 big ones. It's got to be the game in North Little Rock against Fresno State then. So there you have it. You're going to win all 4 of those? I don't know what other one it's going to be. Oh, yeah, they have it listed as a neutral, but it counts as a home in your net ranking. Interesting. Okay, that one threw me for a second there. Well, you should get one of them at least, right? But, yeah, Duke and Louisville and Texas Tech, you're going to get those? Let's see. Plus 1,300, Arkansas Razorbacks to beat Alabama, which is a road game. Florida, which is a road game, the defending champs, and Kentucky at home in Bud Walton Arena, plus 1,300. I say if you go 2-1 in that, you did a pretty damn good job. Got to get one because you can't be losing to Kentucky now at home, but whew, that's why it's plus 1,300. Plus 1,600, Arkansas Razorbacks to win 10-plus games in a row in the regular season. We just talked about it for trying to find 5, right? Just trying to find 5. And to get 10 in a row, well, this team would be rolling. And we'd be talking, if they win 10 in a row at any point in this schedule, they're going to be ranked in the top 5 in the country with some hellacious wins. Like we're talking about like 1 seed potential stuff here. Plus 2,000, Arkansas Razorbacks to win all home conference games during the regular season. Now we're talking, baby. Every year when we do our bowl predictions, I've been picking Arkansas to go undefeated at home. This is the first year I didn't do it because I was like, maybe I'm jinxing them. Maybe it's a me problem and not an Arkansas problem. A couple years there, they only lost once. One year it was Vandy that got them. One year it was Mizzou that got them. They've been close, but no cigar. But to get all those games in SEC play at plus 2,000. Plus 3,000, Arkansas Razorbacks to win all non-conference games during the regular season. So that means you win all the bye games and you beat Michigan State on the road. You beat Louisville at home. You beat Duke, Texas Tech, and Houston on neutrals. But if you believe in that and put money on it, you're going to get a hell of a return. You know what I'm saying? Plus 4,000, Arkansas Razorbacks to win 15 games in a row. Whew, man. Plus 5,000, Arkansas Razorbacks to win all away conference games during the regular season. Plus 5,000, you go sweep the road schedule. What's the road schedule? Let's see. At Ole Miss, at Auburn, at Georgia, at Oklahoma, at Mississippi State, at LSU, at Alabama, at Florida, at Missouri. I will say this. That's probably not going to happen. But I've seen worse paths on the road, okay? I have seen worse paths on the road. You don't have to go to Tennessee, where they're incredibly difficult to beat. You don't have to go to Rupp. Maybe that would have made it easier because Arkansas seems to handle their business over there more often than not, which is interesting. But yeah, I mean, you still got to go to Bama, to Florida. That's tricky. To Auburn, the jungle. And then plus 10,000, Arkansas Razorbacks to win all away games against SEC teams in the regular season. So wait, they just did. That's the same thing, right? Yeah, what the hell? So plus 5,000, Arkansas to win all away conference games during the regular season. That's 9. Plus 10,000, Arkansas Razorbacks to win all away games against SEC teams in the regular season. So maybe they're going to have to update that and it's just all away games, period. And then you just add the Michigan State game on top of these others because that would be the only reason why I could see it having increased odds there. Whatever. Anyway, that was fun, wasn't it? You guys going to go download Bet Saracen now and put a bunch of money on this? You know, I like doing I really don't like doing too much with Arkansas related stuff, but like I'll bet on college football weekends and, you know, college basketball stuff. I like doing little parlays and games here and there. But I have a hard time, admittedly, with like the season long stuff, because you like, if we bet on this now, then man, we're just not going to know what's going to happen to that money until the end of March. That's a long time. Just saying. But the reward is big, don't you think? All right, I'm going to get out of here, folks. Hey, I really appreciate everybody for tuning in. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. Find us where you find your podcasts. We'll be back tomorrow with a full preview, game day preview of Arkansas Cincinnati. It's going to be a big day. Really, really looking forward to it. It's been Curtis Wilkerson with Inside Arkansas on the Pod the Palace. Everybody have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow.